Hi guys, welcome back to Dudley Central. This is a bit of a special video. It is about 4 weeks late, but it is, there's a lot of stuff that I want to share with you. Of course, it's to do with my trip to Berlin. It was about 4 weeks ago now, but it was absolutely fantastic. So, in this video, I want to split it into a couple of sections, so feel free to jump ahead if you're not that interested in parts of it. Firstly, I just want to talk about what we've done, and then secondly, show some of the videos of real trains that I caught, and last of all, to talk about some of the bits and pieces that I've brought home with me. So we'll crack on with the first little bit. I'll leave a little thing in the description below for when each section begins, if you wish to skip ahead. So first of all, we spent 6 days there. We could have spent another 6 and another 6 after that. There was so much to see. It was such a brilliant place to go. A lot of, obviously a lot of stuff to do with the Second World War, but in terms of trains, there were lots and lots of interesting things. If you do go, I'd highly recommend the Technic Museum. That was really, really good. It was like the equivalent of our National Rail Museum. They had a really good selection in there, right from steam through to electric. A particular favourite of mine was the BR 220. Of course, I've already got a model of this, so it was a nice surprise to see that one in there. They had lots of fantastic stuff, and it's also attached to their science museum, so that was really interesting. Highly recommend that one if you ever get there. Other than that, there were plenty of museums to go to. There was like a really good Berlin History Museum as well. Highly recommend that if you're interested. And of course, for us model train geeks, loads and loads of model shops. I did go to, I think, about 3 or 4, but for me, I'd highly recommend either. That's just it. So this is Micker's Barn Shop. He had loads and loads of quality second-hand models, which I've bought a couple of. And then the second one was this model barn. Mierendorf Platz. I've probably absolutely butchered that, but that was a brilliant shop. That's where I've got my my upcoming birthday present from, and I'll be doing a video on that one later this week. But those two I'd highly recommend if you're ever in Berlin. This one, the Mierendorf Platz, it had a really good range of second-hand and brand new trains, and the staff were really kind. Most of them spoke English, and they're quite happy for you to test trains on their track and take questions. I highly recommend that. So so I'll move on to some trains that I've caught, and thank you. So in terms of trains, obviously Germany's got a very extensive system, and I had really good fun actually spotting quite a few. I was standing there, I had no idea what I was looking at for a good part of it. When I get home, I'd have a look at what I've captured and then actually read up what it is. There were loads of really brilliant locations. Berlin Hauptbahnhof, obviously the main station, got quite a few trains in there. There was the Ice 3, and I think there was a BR 4.3. There were a few double-decker trains in there, and of course the S-Bahn as well. And you know, other than that, was the S-Bahn and the U-Bahn. The U-Bahn's the equivalent of say the underground, but it also goes above ground as well. The S-Bahn is more of a suburban rail, but this again, like the U-Bahn, also goes underground and overground. So I found that quite confusing. I'm sure someone will clear that up in the comments section below. So yeah, a couple of other locations, Alexanderplatz, that had quite a few trains shooting through. Had quite a few ice trains firing through that one, and there was also Berlin Friedrichstrasse, and this was my favourite station, to be honest with you. It was a shared station with the S-Bahn and mainline trains, and loads of trains shooting through, double-deckers, EMUs, S-Bahns, and it is big inspiration for my upcoming diorama, which I've nicknamed Dudley Hauptbahnhof. I've already had a few people have a laugh and a joke about that. So yeah, so that's all based off Berlin Friedrichstrasse. You know, and it was a cracking station, I think. It really it was quite old-fashioned, but very modern at the same time. So yeah. So yeah, I'll move on to what I've picked up on my travels. So in terms of acquisitions, I did go out there with the idea of getting some carriages for my 220, and I was very pleased that the Mickers Bahnhof, you know, they had a really good selection of second hand, so I've managed to form a train relatively cheaply, So this is what I've gone for. Whether they are prototypical, I don't know. I've gone for these. I think they are of the correct era for my loco, but I got them for €12 each. So if you do the maths, that's €36 for 3 carriages, which all have interior lighting. Of course they are second hand, so they didn't come in a box, and they have needed a bit of a scrub down on the wheels, but to me, some highly detailed coaches with lights, €36 for 3, I think that's an absolute bargain, particularly in the rising prices. And actually, some of them have passengers in them as well, so I'm made up with that, and I think they look good behind my loco. So that was from Mickers, and I'll just throw a snap of these carriages behind the loco that I've got. So yeah, I was really happy with them. And then next, what did I do? I went to Mirendorf, and I saw one of these, which I'd just taken to the actual shop, so I had to get it. It's again, you'll have to excuse my lack of knowledge, it's a MAN, and I think it's a MAN Lion bus, and these go all over Berlin. This is the M19. We did get this bus actually, but our most local one was the M29, and they did have a model of it, and I was very tempted, but it was covered in it was in like a vinyl wrap or something, some sort of German movie I think, and I wanted to come back with a yellow bus, which kind of represented Berlin. And then I also picked out my birthday present, which is to be remained in the box until Wednesday, but I'll show you what it is. It is a BR147, and it's there we go. It's a very smart loco. It's brand new, I believe. I think Pico have only just brought this one out, but it looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm really excited to get this one outside of the box. So there we go. And then lastly, I saw one of these. It's not quite in scale, but it's an S-Bahn model. It's in TT gauge. It's just the one carriage. I think TT, it's in between HO and N gauge, so it's going to look too small on my layout. But it was only, I think, €22, so I thought, oh, come on, got to have one. I have thought, with it being the S-Bahn, which can go underground, whether if I set it back onto the diorama, whether I could create a kind of forced perspective, and whether this would work. So what I might do is I might have a little bit of an experiment with it and see how I get on with that. So yeah, I'm made up, and since I've got home, I've ordered quite a few bits, of course, for the new loco to pull. So I've got some double-decker carriages. I'll put some pictures of those up in the week, so I'll flash them up now. So they're just waiting for a loco to push them, and then I've also gone for a fallow car system, and that I think I'll dedicate a whole new video to, because I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's something I've been mulling over for a long time, and the excuse has always been for me, oh, the fallow system's all German, it's not going to fit in. And I could modify it for British outline, but now I've got German layout, so I can't even use that excuse anymore. And I'll be honest, I've had the fallow system out, I don't know, for about a day, and it took me about 5 minutes to set up. It looks rubbish at the moment because I haven't set it down into the the baseboard yet, but I've literally put the steel coil onto the baseboard, got it running round in seconds. It's so easy to do. I just wish it was a bit cheaper as a system, really. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Sorry if I bored the pants off you, but yeah, feel free to comment and subscribe as always. I look forward to seeing your comments. Thank you, and bye bye for now.